Well, this has me really concerned. Should I worry? Should you be worried? I'm worried. I don't know if this is going to do all my bees in or not. We have got something that is going to be so, I think, bigger than what we can imagine, that's really going to be hard on our bees. Hey everybody, good to be with you today. David Burns here with you, and I'm glad to be with you on the first day of 2025. Happy New Year. I wish I could bring some better news to you, but I am worried about what's happening and what's going to happen to our bees over the next couple of weeks. What we have is an unusual weather pattern. Now, I'm not a weatherman, and I'm not trying to pretend that I'm going to be able to make some good predictions here, but I've been following what people are saying, weather people, meteorologists that forecast the weather way out, and they're looking at a lot of models, and what they're showing is some very disturbing things for beekeepers. And that is, they're showing a large chance of snow and a huge chance of cold weather, maybe freezing weather, dipping all the way down deep into the south, even into Florida. This could be really detrimental on our bees, and especially colonies that may be weak or low in food resources. This will do a lot of bee colonies in, unfortunately. And also, there's a chance for heavy snow, particularly here, somewhere in the Midwest. Maybe we don't know where it's going to go just yet. Somewhere between Kentucky. The Kentucky area has a good chance for ice. And then somewhere, wherever it falls north of that ice line, is going to be snow. So not only are our bees going to have really cold weather, they're going to have snow that could block the entrances, or ice that could even, like I've talked about before, suffocate your bees. So we have a lot to deal with on the first day of January. And I'm just going to share with you now some of the things that I'm picking up. I like to follow weather patterns on the internet because I get a lot of information about what's going to happen to my bees that helps me better prepare. Well, while all of this is still speculation, it's hard to predict the weather very far out, of course, and even it's hard to predict the weather, what it's going to be the next day. We've all seen that before. However, I think it's good to take precautions. I would rather be surprised that the weather system wasn't as bad as they said than to blow it off and it was a lot worse than I thought or what they said. So I think it's better to be prepared. First of all, I want all of you to realize the most important things to be prepared for is you need to be prepared. You need to make sure you got plenty of food and water. You need to make sure you got a backup system for if you lose your power. You need to figure out what you're going to do if it's going to be so much colder now. And then you're going to have the possibility of a power outage. How are you going to heat your home, keep your pipes from breaking, or keep yourself warm, or your loved ones that may live alone? So I think there's a lot of reasons that we always need to use an opportunity like this with the threat of potential bad winter weather to take an opportunity to do an assessment of how prepared we are. And once we have ourselves prepared and safe, in safety and all, loved ones prepared and safe, then we should move to our bees and think about, okay, what can I do about my bees? One of the things that I think the best thing to do for bees with this threat of this extremely cold weather, along with snow and ice, is to provide, first and foremost, some type of wind block. And that's going to be maybe hard to do. Like right now, my ground's frozen. I can't do much about that, driving stakes in the ground or making wind block. But what I can do is I can potentially wrap up my hives with something. It doesn't, I'm not talking about insulating the hives. I'm talking about wrapping them up, if for no other reason, for that wrap to be a windbreak. So consider that. The second thing you need to do for your bees in a very cold weather, a snap like this, is to make sure they have plenty of food on board. If they are prepared with their own honey, their own stores of pollen in their hive, then you don't have to do much. But you may not know. They may have eaten through a lot prior to where we are now at the first day of 2025. So make sure your bees have enough food on board. That means you're going to put fondant on or Winter Be Kind on, some kind of candy boards on there. But you need to make sure, because look, just like us, when we eat things, we get warm. And so bees actually do have a way to make more heat by consuming the food that you give them. So if it's going to be a really cold snap, I think it's really wise to have a way for the bees to consume carbohydrates and protein to stay warm. Now, some people, I often hear people say, and they're not wrong, but I often hear people say that they'd rather not feed their bees because if they feed their bees, the bees have to use energy to metabolize the food, that it's better just to wrap them up, leave them alone, don't worry about them. Well, okay, that might work for some people. I can't live on that kind of a razor edge. I mean, I want to control what my bees are doing. And so I have to control the food source all winter long. I want to be in control. And so I'm just not going to wrap them up and say, good luck, and not really know what's going on in there. I'm going to check my food regularly, but look at my winter bee kind boards. I'm going to be out there making sure that they have enough food on board. Because if they run out, which they could, no matter how well you wrap them, they can run out of food and die. And so I think the most important thing is to keep food on the hive as an insurance plan. Whether they use it or not, what are you out? I mean, it's better for them not to use it and have their own than to run out of food and not have any more insurance plan to go back and feed on some of the food that you gave them. So this is something I want you all to be aware of. If you don't trust me, because again, I'm not a weatherman, I can't make predictions, but right now the way I hear and interpret these weather models and weather people that are talking about it, it has a potential to be some really severe winter weather, especially along the lines of Kentucky and north. Even way out east as well, the Carolinas and all. You need to look at this. Why don't you look at it and you make your own decisions. If you look at these maps that I'm looking at, you can see this cold air. It's just, I mean, this Arctic blast is sweeping deep into the south. If ice does hit you, like I see the models showing Kentucky with some ice in Kentucky, and some have even said up to a ½ inch of ice. So if you're in that ice line, below the snow line, please go out if it happens to you and make sure your bees don't suffocate. The ice, if it's real thick, can just glaze over the entire hive and cut off all air resources that the bees need: air, ventilation. So don't let that happen. Have a way for your bees to have air. And if it, of course, same applies if it snows as well. So a lot of things to think about, and too bad we can't start the new year off with better news, but I think it's good to take this opportunity to look into our bees and make sure that we're prepared and the bees are prepared too. Many of you love the packages of bees that we sell every year. We've been selling packages of bees for, a long time. What, a decade or more, I think, and also 5-frame nucleuses. They've gone on sale today, January the 1st. So it's for pickup only. We don't ship any bees. We want to make sure the bees stay as healthy as they can. And shipping is hard on bees sometimes. So we like for our customers to pick up their bees right here. So if you want to pick up a new package, or if you're thinking about starting next year, we do sell 3-pound packages with the mated queen. And we also sell 5-frame nukes that some might prefer nukes. So they're online. Here's a link right here if you want to check those out. We'd love to have your business. Now, I just made a video also if you're going to be snowed in, don't have much to do. I made a video of me in the shop here actually preparing some frames, and we're talking about how old frames might be deadly to your colony. How long can you keep using frames? I want you to see this video right over here. I'll see you guys over there.